Okay, so I mentioned the cold and hot way before, but there are actually 3 ways, so we'll go through each of them one at a time. So the third way, I didn't see it, okay. Oh, it's the combined mode. So we'll start with the first method, which is the cold way. So this is basically where you get a horseshoe that should fit very snugly along the step edge without leaving any gaps. So basically, meaning, is it too big for the hoof? Is it too small? And the holes for the nails must be directly over the white line of the hoof itself. That's how you know it's also correct, not just how far the edges go. And the outer edge of the horseshoe may lie outward from the hoof, laterally, just a little, but at most it can't be more than 0.5 to 1 millimeter, so not too big. And the heel parts, which are moving in the sides, can't be more than 3 to 5 millimeters out from outside the hoof. And when you're preparing the horseshoe, the basic rule is that the horseshoe copies the hoof, the shape of the hoof, and to achieve the final alignment of the horseshoe, it can be extra forged or to remove the horn of the step, which is sort of on the end. Now the hot way, which is sort of the most common way that's been described, and I think we've discussed it briefly. So you have the hoof surface of the horseshoe. It's been pre-adjusted in the shape and size to the hoof and the foot edge. It's then warmed and placed on the step edge for 2 to 3 seconds, so here. And the hot horseshoe blows the horns and creates a proper bedding. And the high temperature of the horseshoe sort of damages the horns of the white line of the foot, and in some cases it can cause inflammation. So basically that's why in Bulgaria they do the cold way, and the combined method is it's a combination of cold and hot. So I imagine maybe what they do is they shape the horseshoe the hot way, but then when they apply it, it's actually the cold way, which I think makes more sense. So in terms of nailing, is it just easy? How does it work? So there are actually 3 stages. So you hammer the nails in. Do they show it? No. So yeah, it's kind of self-explanatory. They hit it in, and basically what doing that does is it attracts the horseshoe by cutting the lips of the nails, and you twist them and you rivet the nail on the horn wall in horseshoeing, and basically you first clamp the inner nail. So basically what it means is you kind of just cut off the the bits that are sticking out here and also on the top of the horseshoe. Sorry. The tips of the nails, they bend and they're cut with pliers. Oh, okay, so the inner, so the bit here under the hoof, this is clamped, and the ends of the nail sticking out, these are cut with pliers. And unfortunately none of that's showed here, but I think you might understand. And the animal then steps to the ground, and you check that the position of the horseshoe is correct, like are they standing properly? And when the nail is hammered, its tip is placed in the middle of the white line, with the diagonal sections facing the frog, and the hammering begins. So you have slight knocks of the horseshoe hammer on the head of the nail, and you have to be certain of the direction it's going in is correct as well. And you do a mixture of short and strong blows until it's finally hammered in. Don't just do short blows, because that's what I do. And after hammering all of the nails, you have to repeatedly knock to fit their heads tightly into the jar. So it has to look like there are no heads, basically. And when they're properly nailed, the tips of the nails are lined approximately 2 centimeters from the step edge. So what's going to happen is, from the dorsal surface of the hoof, the tips of the nails can stick out. You have to cut them with pliers. So assessing the horseshoe, how do we know it's all good? So as you can see, I mentioned previously, the horseshoe should fit the hoof, and it's only like 1 to like a few millimeters out. I'm not going to say any measurements because it's mentioned previously. So we assess the horseshoe immediately after putting the horseshoes. The animal has to be examined at rest and on the move, because the observation is especially important if you have any disorders of the musculoskeletal system of the limbs, and see if the horseshoe helps, really. Oh, this is the next lecture, so practical, sorry, so I'll stop here.